I'm Mary Lewis with Smith and Associates Insurance, and I am here to do an update of my prior insurance video about flood insurance. Just want clients and people to know the changes that are going to affect you in the years to come. FEMA officials, which of course is the government, have implemented an across-the-board rate increase effective January 1st for flood insurance. And the increase in rates will phase in over the next 4 years. And there's also a 5-year process that will affect the mapping of flood insurance. So areas that were in a certain flood zone will be changed to possibly a higher flood zone or an emergency flood zone due to the recent floods that we've experienced across the nation. Even the preferred rates, flood rates, which generally have been pretty inexpensive for a $250,000 home, on a preferred rate, the premium would run you about $400 a year, and they anticipate a rate increase on those policies of 13%. So it's not going to be just the emergency flood zones that will increase, it's going to be the preferred rates too. As I said, the rates will phase in over the 4 years time span. Some of the issues are there are some 6 million buildings in flood zone A, which is the 100-year flood zone. In other words, it hasn't flooded in the last 100 years. And in those zones, approximately 50,000 buildings have been repetitively flooded. In other words, they shouldn't have flooded for another 100 years, but they have flooded. In the Nashville area, we've seen that homes that have never flooded in 200 years, 2 years ago, were flooded. So that's part of the reason for the rate increase. There's also going to be changes, major changes, on property that is owner-occupied, but not occupied for at least 80% of the calendar year. In other words, secondary residence is in South Carolina or the coast, Florida, and those rates will increase at least 25%. So that's going to be a major impact on people that own secondary residences that they don't live in most of the year. Certain properties that have been receiving federal subsidy, in other words, the government was paying part of the premium for the area, they will no longer receive that federal subsidy. Some of the properties are, if you've had repetitive flood claims, you won't receive subsidy, your rates will go up. Properties where your loss exceeded the market value of your home, those rates will go up. They won't be subsidized any longer, so that'll be a big change. The increases are as a result of the claims that have been paid by FEMA. They've increased from approximately $20 billion to $30 billion. That's a huge increase. So, the claims from Superstorm Sandy alone right now are about $9.7 billion. So the first of the year, Congress appropriated more money to pay these claim payments. So that money has to come from somewhere. So part of it's going to come from the rate increases and, of course, our taxes. So what I think is you need to check on flood insurance now, especially if you're someone that's in a non-emergency zone. Get in there and get the rates now, because who knows, next year they may increase even more. So call your independent insurance agent, your advisor at Smith. The number is 435-8300. Thank you.